And in today's tutorial, it happens to be the continuation of the course PCR211. With this being said, let's go straight into it. Okay, PCR211, and we'll be talking about the framework of African culture of peace. Okay, when we say African culture of peace, what is the framework like? What does the framework of African culture of peace? Okay, we're talking about culture, right? We're talking about peace. So what is this peace and culture like in Africa? What does the setting, arrangement, the structure put in place for peace to reign among communities, among members of the communities, and all right, neighboring communities? What is the structure like? Okay, so let's talk about what it is. Now, the framework of African culture of peace. We have the institution. Can we all hear me? Awesome. So we have the institution of elders. Okay. We have the institution of elders. One thing we should understand that in Africa, a lot of responsibility is apportioned to elders in the society, in every unit, in every home, based on the fact that elders are individuals that have lived for a long period of time, gathered a pool of experience, and based on this pool of experience they have gathered over time. Good evening, Chinaza. Good to have your board. Based on the experience they have gathered over time, it is expected of them, all right, certain level of wisdom. Okay, when it comes to making judgments, elders are well acknowledged in the African society. Why? Because they are seen as bundles of wisdom, considering the fact that they have lived for quite a while, they've been around for quite a while, they've seen things, they've experienced things, all right? And from all these experiences, like we usually say, experience is the greatest teacher. From all these experiences, they've been able to pull, all right, together certain experience, all right, wisdom from these experiences. So in Africa, talking about the framework of culture of peace, elders, the institution of elders does a lot. Okay, the institution of elders does a lot. Now, let's take a step further. Just a moment. Now, this institution, okay, the acceptable rules for elders differ from society to society. Now that I understand very well that these elders play accept rules, okay, their roles does differ from society to society. Now, the Yoruba acknowledged the central role of elder in their culture in their adage, Agba kò sí nínú ìlú Ìgbàjẹ́. Now, according to the Yorubas, there's an adage that goes like, you cannot have an elder in the house and witness, all right, things going bad. Without elders, a society will definitely degenerate. Okay, that is what the Yorubas believe, that where there is no elder in a society, the society will what? Degenerate. Okay, so now it says here, It says here that the Lozi of South Africa also value their elder. All right, that's Lozi of South Africa. Also, all right, Lozi of Central Africa, South Central Africa also value their elders for upholding values, norms, all right, taboos, especially involving kinship and marriage. Now, elders will protect when a man wishes to marry. All right, elders will protest when a man wishes to marry a woman who is considered related to his family. If the man persists in marrying the woman, elders will not dismiss it, but will, all right, place a course on the marriage. Now, elders sometimes play the role of spiritual advisors. All right, that's why it said in that Yoruba adage that a society where there are no elders, such society will degenerate. Okay, so elders in Africa entirely plays a very important role. All right, often elders are spiritual leaders or at least teach the details of rituals and ceremonies. All right, teach the details of how certain things are being done, like what is expected, how things should be done. Teaching the younger members skill and knowledge of all right, subsistence is also very important for the existence of a culture. All right, teaching the young generation, all right, a lot of things about the history, the genesis of their culture, where their ancestors, what their ancestors has done, also go a long way, all right, in improving the society for the young generation. So we have that as that. An elder represents the entire legal and mystical authority of a lineage. All right. An elder represents all right, the entire mystical, all right, the entire legal and mystical authority of a, all right, of a lineage or a generation, either ways. So now we have that as that. Now, as important as this um, role is in recognition of the positive role of elders in African culture, number member of ECOWAS Council of Elder was established in July 2001. All right, realizing the word positive roles of elders. Okay, there was a movement, there was an arrangement. All right, the movement is about the ECOWAS Council of Elders. Okay, there was a creation in the year July 2001. All right, where we have the ECOWAS Council of Elders. ECOWAS Council of Elders. So we have that as that further. So what are the attributes? The attributes of peace cultures in Africa. Now, the attributes of peace culture in Africa focus on reconciliation. Okay? Attributes. The attributes of peace culture, the attributes of peace culture in Africa focuses on reconciliation and restoring of social harmony, reconcile disputes, reconciliation and restoring, okay, and restoring of social harmony. There is an emphasis on restorative penalties, okay. There is what we call restorative penalties. And when we talk about restorative penalties, in as much as you are restoring, in as much as you're doing some reconciliation, there are some heavy price that will need to be attended to. Price will be paid. To restore peace, certain sacrifice must be made. All right. So we have a problem is viewed as that of the whole community or group. All right. It's not a matter of it is your problem. It is a matter of our problem. Okay. We have that as that. So very quickly, let's talk about the emergence of peace studies. Okay. The emergence of peace studies. In the same vein, that international relation emerged after the breakdown of the world order that resulted in the First World War in 1914. Peace study came out of the threat posed on human existence after the bombing of Japan city of Hiroshima and Nagasaki at the tail end of Second World War. Speaking of the emergence of peace study, all right, but like I usually say, all right, the content we push out on this stream are basically educational contents to educate, all right, give information according to our course material which the university has provided. All right, we don't instigate violence or encourage it either way. So, according to what we have here, the emergence of peace study, okay, like we are being told, just like we have international relations, all right, international relations emerged after the breakdown of the world order that resulted in the First World War, all right, in 19, all right, 14. Peace studies came out of the threat post human existence after certain happenings, all right, in the history, all right, of countries like Japan at the tail of the end of the Second World War. So we have that as that. But Rowling, one of the pioneers of peace studies, described peace studies as a science of survival which arose because potential destructiveness of war is not only a menace to international order but constitute a threat to human existence as a whole. Okay, good evening. It's great to have you, bro Shagalu. Good evening. I'm not sure I know this name, but it's great to have you on board, sir. Please let us know where you are streaming from, what department are you what level and semester. So now we have, according to what Robert, okay, according to what Robert said. Now, Robert, I beg your pardon, as Rowley referred to peace study as a, all right, as the science of survival, the science of survival. According to him, he said, when we talk about peace study, we are simply referring to the science of survival. Why? Peace study came out, was birthed, all right, was birthed, emanated as a result of potential destructiveness, okay, of conflicts, okay. The potential, what conflict on a large scale is capable of causing the effect. So the reason why this is now developed is, let's try and stop, let's put an end to this conflict issue, and let's see how we can resolve matters peacefully without always involving or use force to get what we need. So we have that as that. Now, what are the objections? All right, there are certain objections to the study of peace. Okay. Now, as a subject, peace studies did not arrive without controversy and rejection. Three principal points raised by those who objected to its consideration as a direct field are particularly what germane. Three particular objections. The very first objection is that objections of peace studies. The very first objection is that there were those who argued that peace is not a suitable subject for academic subject. Not suitable for academic study. That's the first objection. Second objection is that various defense scholars did not believe that peace scholarly peace scholars sufficiently weigh the claims of security, justice, and freedom against the claims of peace and accused them of unrealistically refusing to accept the need for states to possess offensive weapons in a world where such weapons cannot be disinvented. All right. So, defense said peace is not the solution. All right. Peace is not the solution. All right. The solution, according to defense, is the use of offensive weapons. All right. Not the solution to conflict. All right. That peace, more like peace. When we talk about peace, we are kind of being timid or shying away from the reality. Okay, so we have that as that. So the third, conservative political theorist. The third point now, we have conservative political theorists and activists. All right. Scholars, defense. Now we have political theorists, all right, conservative political theorists and activists, all right, argue that teachers of peace studies use their teaching opportunity to oppose political parties and policies that rely on historically accepted security and defense value. What are they saying here? Peace is not the way to conflict. Conflict is the way to conflict, according to these conservative political theorists. Okay? Peace studies use their teaching opportunity to oppose politics. So we have as that. We're going to call it wrap here for today. And I was really hoping that we could finish up with the course today, but this week, but with the way this course is quite voluminous and the details, I'm afraid we'll not be able to achieve that. So, taking up from our next lab, we're talking about peace and pacifism. Thank you very much, everyone. I believe you'll be able to gain something to this class. Let's work to keep our notes up to date and submit them to the appropriate quarters. Bye for now.